Hi, I'm Pastor Kelly, and today I'm coming to you from my sewing room, one of my favorite places to be because I love to sew. I learned how to sew as a very young girl, and through the years I've made all kinds of things. You know, most of the time when you sew, you use a pattern. And in here it's got instructions on how to cut out the material and step-by-step instructions on how to assemble it. And that's really fun to do, and I've done a lot of that. But there's something I really, really love doing, and that's just creating and designing myself. In fact, my daughter-in-law drew me a picture of what she wanted for a wedding dress, and from that drawing, I created her wedding dress, which was a real challenge because we only got 2 times for her to try it on. But it turned out to be a one-of-a-kind, beautiful dress. But a lot of things I'd like to do lately is make bags. Yeah, I'm a bag lady. I love bags. I think I get this from my mom. She loves bags too, except hers usually those high-end like Coaches and stuff like that. I like to create them and make them in my sewing room. Sometimes I'll go online and I might see a bag I think is kind of cool. Like here's one I found and printed out the picture of. I said that's really a cool bag. And from that picture I'll try to create something similar to it, and from that picture is what I made this out of old leftover material from when I reupholstered my log couch and chair. But I added a few things. I made it into a backpack and a detachable purse on the back, and it's a camera bag actually. And this is the camera foam insert. You can set in there, your camera's all protected, and so if you're traveling with your camera, it's not going to be banged around. But there's something about sewing without a pattern. You know, when we use the pattern, like I showed you earlier, it's showing, like I said, step by step. You do this step and then this step, and if you do in their sequence, everything comes out fine, and it all gets assembled together easily. But when you're creating something from your imagination, sometimes the steps get messed up. And then there comes along something we call a seam ripper. It gets used a lot. When I was creating this bag, especially, this got used so much, I have nicknamed this bag Seam Ripper, or RIP for short. But one night when I was actually making the lining, the insert part, I had the whole thing assembled, was almost done when I realized I'd forgot to put the Velcro on the inside of it, which would then attach the dividers. If you don't have that there, that's really useless. It's not going to do you any good. So I ended up having to rip the whole thing apart, start all over again. So everything I'd been doing in the last hour or two before that was wasted. I had to start all over. But for some reason that night, it didn't discourage me when I was using my seam ripper. And I said, no. Because I started to see that's how God works with us. Like in His Word. In Philippians 1, verse 6, it says, "For I am confident of this very thing, that He who has begun a good work in you will perfect it until the day of Jesus Christ." You know, I ripped that apart, and I ripped this apart many times because I wanted to get it right. I wanted it to look right. Maybe my material shifted, or maybe I just didn't get things done in the right sequence. I wanted to get it right. I was the creator, and I wanted to make sure that it was going to turn out to be a useful and beautiful bag to use. That's how God is with us. But you know what? He actually has the pattern, and His pattern is His Word, and He knows how to get everything to work in our life. He's got that good plan. He knows the plans that He has for you, plans to prosper you and to give you a hope and a future. They're good things. But sometimes we get in the way and say, I want to do it this way. And sometimes I would do that in sewing my bag. No, I'm going to do it this way. Oh, and that didn't work. When my original thought was to do it another way. And then the seam ripper comes out and you have to start over again. But starting over again isn't all that bad. So when God's working on your heart, don't get discouraged. It's because He wants it to turn out right. And He wants you to turn out right. And you know what? You will. Because He has started a good work in you, and He will complete it. I am confident of this very thing. So, from my sewing room and my seam ripper, this is Pastor Kelly. And I want to thank you for listening today, and God bless.